Wife and kids leave to go to the store. Notice the white van in the background waiting. The van left after my wife did, and returns as they are pulling into our driveway. He pulls up quickly, blocking the road and my wife from leaving, but was spooked when I walked out of the garage. The van returned after dark, stalking our home.
Go shower really fast. I need you to go shower. Please, Daniel. Who's that? Who is that? Get out of here! Get out of here! There's a guy outside. Look.
Braylon? What's happening with your car?
Ma, there's a weird fucking stray cat outside. It looks like grandma, the fucking thing. Hey, get the fuck out of here. I mean. Oh, frick!
This poor girl encountered the Serbian dancing lady. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out my last video. The Serbian dancing lady is a woman that dances the street at night. She carries a knife with her, and if she encounters someone, then check out her encounter. It's believed to be bad luck if you make eye contact with her, which she did. It's scary because there's been so many sightings of this lady recently. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments below. Stay safe. For more scary content, check out my YouTube channel, link in bio.
Alright, so, what's the new evidence now?
A satellite photo near Sao Paulo.
Alright, this I want to see. Let's take a look at that.
It was taken by NASA, and it caused some immediate concern amongst the environmental community.
Alright, first blush, it looks like a giant oil spill, right?
That was the fear, yeah. There's a lot of offshore drilling along the Brazilian coast. Fortunately, though, it turned out to be a swarm of microbes known as Marionecta rubra, and they're not hazardous to marine life.
Why was this brought to your attention then?
Well, during the initial investigation, the agent who was studying the swarm noticed something out in the water.
Okay, kind of a speck.
Yeah, well, at this resolution, it's a speck. When they zoomed in, though, they got this.
It's a little fuzzy, but I'd say that's a shark.
And not just any shark. If you look at this other satellite photo I brought, it was taken at the same resolution of a school bus yard in nearby Sao Paulo. Now, those are 40-foot buses, and when you compare them next to the first photo, I'd say that's a 70-foot shark.
All right, let's ask the obvious first question here. Do you really think that this is the same animal that was spotted 2 months earlier on the other side of the ocean at Cape Verde?
Look, that's a 3,000-mile trip, and it sounds like a lot, but great whites have been tracked going 1,500 miles in a month. So for Megalodon, that would be nothing. Also, sharks are known to revisit old haunts. Great whites, for instance, have been tagged leaving the east coast of the U.S., going on a random winding trip to the North Atlantic, and then returning a year later, almost to the day, to the same spot that they were tagged. So similar behavior from Megalodon makes complete sense.
If, indeed, this is Megalodon.
Came across some footage that was shot in Hawaii. Now, it wasn't recently, it was about 4 years ago, but it definitely caught our attention. The video was shot by a father and a son who had come across a whale that had suffered a brutal attack.
What is that? Look at that. What is that?
Now, the original footage was kind of hard to make out, but after studying it and the amateur photos taken from the beach, you can clearly see a bite radius in the whale, and the bite radius is striking. From the vantage point of the kid's camera, the whale looks to be almost bitten in half. It's absolutely insane. Local marine biologists analyzed the whale and determined, as crazy as it sounds, that the tail was bitten off in one bite. Now, this is significant because the biting off of a tail is a specific trait of only a few underwater predators, the mako shark being one of them. But there's only one underwater predator that would be able to bite the tail off of a whale this size, like has been done here.
Drugs, alcohol, rave, heart attack with basics. 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 Drugs, alcohol, rave.
Cops came out of nowhere. There was countless times that we would see a cop and then all of us would disperse and run. They sneak up on us good. They sneak up on us real good this time. You go, guys, please don't run. And the way they said it, we're like, ugh, what's up? Like, well, I'm ready to run. Tell me why you said it like that.
Yeah.
But they're like, we do not care that you're drinking. Don't run deeper into the woods. Stay in this group and we're all going to leave together. And we're like, okay, because they said it in a way that was like pleading. They didn't do it in like a, hey, get over here. They did it in a, I'm an adult, listen to me right now. Do not run into the darkness of the woods. Stay right here. We do not care that you're drinking. We need to leave right now together. These cops are paranoid. Like, you felt that it was adults making sure that these children were okay. Yeah. That was the vibe. Go to one of the parks, like, they know the area. They know the other places we drink at. Go here, go there. We don't care. Do not go back in the woods tonight. Please. And they don't tell us. So then we find out a few weeks later, the reason they were like that night is because within like 100 yards of us, if one of us went to go take a piss, they would have seen somebody hilled and hung from a tree. Not a this never got on the news and nothing like that. But we found out that that's what it was. That somebody was beaten and murdered within 100 yards of us, fresh. Crazy,
why
right?
do you guys go there? What is wrong with you guys?
If you have not heard about the 28 girls that were hospitalized after using a Ouija board, you should...
I wholeheartedly believe this. Like, Ouija boards are so scary. I had one experience that was so traumatizing. I will literally never touch it again. It happened years ago, and I still think about it. Basically, what happened is I'm gonna literally talk super fast so I can get it all in one video. But basically, one of my friends had a little get together like years ago. This was like 3 years ago. So basically, had a little get together, and it was a few of us, and we were talking about ghosts. There was a point where we were talking about ghosts. There was wine included, but I had like 1 glass of wine. Okay, so I was not drunk, nothing like that. So I had 1 glass of wine. We were all sitting there talking about ghosts, like all that kind of stuff that girls do. And then she goes randomly, she goes, oh hey, like I have a Ouija board in my closet, like who wants to do it with me? All of my other friends were like, absolutely not. And I have been raised with, you don't touch any of that stuff. I don't know what kind of stupidness took over me that night, but something took over me that I was like, oh my god, yeah, let's do it. So basically it was like me, her, and I think it was another friend. And I remember doing this thing and taking it very seriously. Like I really wasn't taking it as a joke. And I told my friends, I was like, guys, like don't be moving the thing to like try and be funny, like for real. If it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. So I know that there's a way that you're supposed to, you have to say hello and goodbye to it or whatever, because if you don't, you can like leave open doors to like things to like haunt you and stuff like that. So it's like super scary. So basically we did it for a while, and honestly nothing happened. Like nothing happened, no one was moving it. So I was kind of like, oh, whatever, like nothing occurred. So then we kind of like did it for a while, and since nothing was happening, we put it away. And honestly, I forgot about it. Like it was like 3 hours later, we were hanging out. I completely forgot about it. I wasn't like scared of anything because nothing weird happened when we were doing it. Okay, keep that in mind. So fast forward, it's like 3 a.m. It's time to go home. It's super late. And my friend is gonna drive me home. So she's like, okay, like let's like drive me home, whatever. Keep in mind, this is the friend that like plays everything down. Like when something scary happens, she's like, Val, you're being dramatic. Like I'm sure there's logical explanation for it, whatever. Anyway, so me and her driving on the way home, and we're blasting music. We're dancing, sorry, we're not dancing, we're singing, blah, blah, blah. And we're on the way home. And I remember she was gonna take this turn. There's 2 turns to go into my house, okay? And both turns go straight to my house. So it doesn't matter what turn you take. Since both turns go to my house, it doesn't really matter. So she usually takes the first turn, but for some reason, something in me was like, don't take this one. I was like, don't take this turn, take the next one. And I remember she was like, why? Like she looked at me, she's like, why? I'm like, she's like, it doesn't matter. They both go to your house. And I was like, I don't know, just take the next one. So anyways, so we're going straight, and we're about to take this turn. Keep in mind, it's just a long road, and it's right on that empty field. So you have the empty field, the long road, and there's a mailbox, okay? So she's taking the turn, and her lights are hitting the mailbox, and we both literally freeze. Like we literally are just, we're not saying a thing, we're looking there. I kid you not, there is a little girl in a white dress. She looks, and when I tell this story, it sounds like I'm making this shit up. It was a little girl with a white dress. She looked sick. She had dark hair up to here. She was literally standing just at her car, like standing at, and I'm not kidding. Like I have to do.
If you have not heard about the 28 girls that were hospitalized after using a Ouija,
I tried to fit it all in one video, but it's just not going to happen. So basically, like I said, we were turning in, and it's the long road that we're turning into. So we're turning this way into this long road. Then there's a big empty field here. It's dark. It has grass in it. And then there's a little wooden railing on it. Super easy to just put your foot over it and be on the other side of it. So as we're turning, her car, the music is still blasting because we're singing, we're going, whatever. When her car turns and it's kind of pointing at the mailbox, we see the figure, okay? The person, the little girl, whatever. We did not say a word, okay? We didn't say a word to each other. We were just like looking, and I remember the music was still going. I think I turned the music down as we were looking. We weren't like, oh my god, do you see that? But like we were both seeing it, and my friend, I almost said her name. It doesn't matter, but my friend literally she stopped the car, and we were just staring at it. And the light was hitting it directly. It was like at this point, it was like 3:30 in the morning. And I am not kidding. Like the chill I felt all over my body, and like the uneasiness that I felt was so scary. I remember being so scared that I actually felt like my eyes teared up from how scared I was, and I was just looking at it. And when you freeze, like I look back at it and I'm like, fuck, I wish I would have like pulled my phone out, taken a video. Like when I tell the story, people are like, well, why didn't you take a picture? What? Because when that happens in the moment, you literally freeze. Like you don't know what to do. You're frozen. You're just like staring at this thing. You're like, what the hell is going on? So we were just like looking at it, and we're like, what the hell? And so my friend, I'm like, drive. Like we were literally looking at each other, and I remember I think at one point she goes, what is that? And I was like, I don't know. And I was like, and we just kept driving, and I will never forget this. This little girl had a white dress, like I said, dark black hair, like up to here. She didn't have a phone. She didn't have a purse. I cannot remember if she had shoes on or not. I literally can't remember. But I remember as the car was moving down, her head was like turning like this as it was going. Like it was like, I'm telling you, it's like a scary movie. Like when I'm telling you this, it sounds like I'm making this shit up. That's why when I've said it to people before, they're like, oh my god. And I'm like, I swear to you. And thank God my friend was with me, because we talk about it still to this day, and we're like, what was that? And so basically, as we pass it, I still see it like going like this, and she keeps driving. As soon as we pass it, my friend hits the gas. We're going, and we're gonna turn into my house. And I look at the back, and I see it kind of like the heads turn like this, like looking at us. And I'm like, oh my God. And I remember making direct eye contact with it because it was looking into, I was sitting on the passenger seat, so it was looking like this as we were passing by. So my friend drops me off. And as my friend, and one thing that I should mention is she was about like 10 years oldish. And when I tell this story, like, even if people don't believe me, I know in my soul, like, what I saw had to do something with doing that Ouija board that night, because I've never in my life seen anything like that. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to do a part 3 because I still want to include some things.